While researching movies from the past 50 years, I've come to an unexpected conclusion that there is a bizarre amount of unusual soundtrack choices from movies from specifically the 20-year period between 1985 and 2005. Chad Kroeger of Nickelback in the Spider-Man soundtrack? Why not? Run DMC in Ghostbusters 2? Sure. R. Kelly in basically every kids movie soundtrack of the 90s? It happened. Regardless, in this video I'm going to be detailing the soundtracks from a few movies that made me raise my eyebrows and investigate further. Let's get into it. The original Addams Family from 1991 is a classic, and its sequel Addams Family Values actually holds up pretty well in my opinion. But as the Addams Family does not have a traditional soundtrack, I'll be focusing on the lead single that they released, Addams Family Groove by MC Hammer. A year prior to the Addams Family 1991, MC Hammer broke onto the scene with You Can't Touch This, a timeless classic that definitely isn't Super Freak by Rick James. Hammer was able to parlay this popularity into getting to create the theme song for a kids movie, albeit a dark kids movie. So what did MC Hammer produce? Only the worst rendition of the Addams Family theme song that exists. He took the basic of the theme and attempted to insert some hip-hop riffs into it, which resulted in the Addams Family Groove winning the Razzie for Worst Original Song at the 12th Annual Golden Raspberry Awards. The video included Gomez, Morticia, Wednesday, and Pugsley alongside Hammer, which plays for some nice nostalgia seeing Christina Ricci as Wednesday again, and Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester. That's pretty fun. The video also includes Hammer sword fighting Gomez over Morticia, as well as Wednesday and Pugsley executing MC Hammer with a guillotine. In an example of something that would never happen today, the music video to this song was played in theaters before every single showing of the movie. So if you have vague memories of going to see the Addams Family in cinemas in 1991, you probably have some strange memories of this rendition of the Addams Family theme, as well as Thing doing the hammer dance. Alright, that looks like all I have to say about the Wait. They did it all again?! Yeah, they did the exact same thing. They repeated the whole cycle like it's fucking Mob of the Dead. I don't know how, but Paramount Pictures managed to replicate the theme from the first movie in almost every single way. In 1993, hip-hop duo Tag Team burst onto the scene with the hit Whoomp, There It Is. They were able to parlay this popularity into getting to create the theme song for a sequel to a kids movie. A dark sequel to a kids movie, albeit. So what did Tag Team produce? Here's a hint. The song was called Addams Family Whoomp. They basically just redid Whoomp There It Is, but the lyrics explained the entire plot to Addams Family Values. Only Wednesday and Pugsley returned for this video. I guess the adults in the movie jumped the ship after the first one. And in congruence with the first one, the song also won the Razzie for Worst Original Song at the 15th Annual Golden Raspberry Awards. So in just 3 short years, Paramount went 2 for 2 on creating the worst original song on 2 straight movies in the same series.
If I had a nickel for every time
Paramount dropped garbage,
I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Anyway, the sequel did receive a full commercial soundtrack, which included Tag Team, RuPaul, R. Kelly again, and Shabba Ranks? What the fuck is Shabba Ranks doing here? Here's a bit of 90s trivia for you. Michael Jackson was initially slated to have a song and music video for this movie, but it was not exactly a good time to have Michael Jackson associated with a kids movie or children really in any way, so it was scrapped. Modern audiences probably wouldn't associate The Dark Knight with large-scale movie soundtracks. Doesn't count. So it might be a bit of a surprise that in over a decade span from 1989 to 99, 3 different Batman soundtracks broke into the Billboard's top 5 for albums, and one of them even reached number 1. The most popular Batman album was the first one released, Batman by Prince, 1989. About 5 years after Purple Rain, the artist known as Prince needed a little pick-me-up in his career, and this album was just the thing to do it. The movie was incredibly popular, and Prince's vocals were featured all throughout the film at almost every end. The album went 2 times platinum and reached number 1 on Billboard. However, the composer to the movie, famed respecter of women Danny Elfman, didn't like how he needed to adapt his music around Prince's pop themes for a Batman movie. So for the sequel, released in 1992, Batman Returns, there was no traditional soundtrack, only releasing 1 additional song by Susie and the Banshees. The movie Batman Returns was panned critically for being terrible. But here's the thing, we're not here to talk about the first 2 soundtracks, we're here to talk about the last 2 soundtracks. Batman Forever, 1995, the movie that set me upon this quest. I've already published a full review of this movie, so in the top right there'll be a card where you can click if you really want to see that. But regardless, I'm not here to talk about the movie. The soundtrack to this movie is absolutely fucking insane. Alright, let's list some off. We have U2, we have Method Man, The Offspring, Brandy, The Flaming Lips, and last but not least, Seal. For whatever reason, the song Kiss from a Rose by Seal, one of the most popular songs of 1995, was released as a single coinciding with this movie soundtrack. Like, the music video for this song is literally just a trailer for Val Kilmer's Batman. The album reached number 5 on the Billboard Top 200, it went double platinum, Kiss from a Rose went number 1. Overall, it's a pretty fun soundtrack. I'd say another highlight is the song The Riddler by Method Man, produced by the RZA. So the bigwigs at Warner Brothers saw the success of the Batman Forever soundtrack and said, we're gonna double the fuck down on this next one. And now we get to Batman and Robin, 1999. Eventually, I'm gonna do some kind of review on this movie as it's just absolutely insane. Regardless, this was George Clooney's one spot as Batman. It didn't do well, but still, they went all out for the album. They had 2 songs by Smashing Pumpkins. They had a song by Bone Thugs and Harmony, a song by R. Kelly, of course, R.E.M., Jewel, the Goo Goo Dolls, and Moloko, among others. See, this soundtrack also reached number 5 on Billboard Top 100, and it went single platinum. There's a few highlights to this soundtrack. One of them is definitely the song Gotham City by R. Kelly, where it's R. Kelly just riding around in a cowboy hat. I'd say the biggest one that I would recommend you go see is the Smashing Pumpkins video for The End is the Beginning is the End. It's absolutely insane, and I absolutely enjoyed watching it. It was crazy. Foolish Games by Jewel was the most popular, peaking at number 2. Overall, R. Kelly peaked at number 9, and Bone Thugs peaked at number 4, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, it was crazy shit for a crazy movie franchise that went in so many different directions in just a decade. Small Soldiers is a 1998 film about a 15-year-old boy that buys some action figures that were built with military hardware. These action figures come alive and try to kill their alien counterparts, and chaos ensues. He has a crush on Kirsten Dunst, David Cross plays a critical role, and I would definitely recommend the watch if you have the time. So what did the bigwigs at DreamWorks think they should do for a soundtrack to a movie about action figures coming alive? Their answer was to make a modern rock hip-hop fusion album with some of the biggest names of the 70s and 80s mixed with the biggest stars of 1998. To set the stage for this album, here's some of the names associated with it. Queen, The Fugees minus Lauryn Hill, Pat Benatar, Queen Latifah, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tom Morello, Flea, The Cult, The Pretenders, Cheap Trick, and last but not least, Canadian supergroup Rush. I love you, Neil Peart. What was the result? Quite possibly the worst soundtrack concept I have ever heard or found. The album is 10 tracks long, lasting 31 minutes. Every single song on this album is a mashup of a pop rock song from the 70s or 80s mixed with 90s grunge and hip hop. The rendition of War by Bone Thugs, Flea, Tom Morello, and spoken word artist Henry Rollins is just absolutely atrocious. The hip hop remix to Rush's Tom Sawyer is just pointless. Like, how did they make this song 2 minutes longer? Whatever they did to Love Removal Machine by The Cult should be removed from the machine that we call existence. But by far, the worst track on this album comes on the second one, with Another One Bites the Dust, Small Soldiers Remix by Queen, featuring Wyclef Jean, Pras, Free, and Cannibus. Let's see, we've got the Fugees minus Lauryn Hill with Wyclef Jean and Pras. I wonder what Pras is up to now. Wow. If you would like to have your day ruined, make a beeline straight to this song. This album in total just desanctified and stained everything that we call holy. I do have one highlight though. I actually really enjoyed the Queen Latifah assisted Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar. I don't know why, that one I liked it, I don't know. Audiences felt the same way in 1998 that I do in 2024. It never broke the top 100 in the Billboard Top 200. I think that this is, minute for minute, pound for pound, one of the strangest decisions in movie soundtrack history right here. Well, I got a lot more of these in the can, so I'm probably going to make another one of these. See you guys later.